welcome to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that's often misunderstood but super important: what women actually dislike during intimacy. Whether you're in a relationship or just curious, this video will help you understand female preferences better. So let's explore it respectfully and maturely. Segment 1. Let's start with the basics: communication. One of the biggest turnoffs for women during intimacy is the lack of proper communication. Many people underestimate how important clear, open dialogue is before, during, and after an intimate moment. Women prefer a partner who listens, understands boundaries, and respects comfort levels. Silent assumptions or pressure can lead to discomfort and emotional disconnect. Intimacy should always be a shared experience, not a one-sided act. Checking in with your partner, asking if something feels right, or even discussing preferences beforehand can make the moment more special. Ignoring this can create tension and mistrust. Remember, communication doesn't kill the mood, it builds trust and enhances emotional connection. So, if there's one thing to start with, it's learning to talk openly and honestly. That's the foundation of respectful, enjoyable intimacy. Segment 2. Another major dislike for many women during intimacy is being rushed. Physical connection is not a race, and when a partner seems too hurried or overly goal-focused, it can ruin the experience. Most women prefer emotional buildup, foreplay, and gradual closeness. Rushing through things without taking the time to understand her mood or readiness can feel inconsiderate. The best intimate moments often come from slow, mindful interaction where both people feel seen and valued. Women are especially sensitive to emotional cues and mental stimulation, so skipping over the process can make it feel mechanical. Intimacy should be savored, not rushed. The more patience you show, the more natural and comfortable the experience becomes for both. So take your time, be present, and remember, intimacy is about connection, not completion. Segment 3. Neglecting emotional connection is another intimacy mistake many overlook. For many women, emotional bonding is directly tied to physical satisfaction. If your partner doesn't feel emotionally secure or appreciated, the physical act may feel empty or transactional. Simple gestures like eye contact, affectionate words, or even holding hands can add depth to the experience. Intimacy isn't just about physical contact. It's about how connected she feels to you emotionally. If that bond is weak or ignored, it may feel like something is missing. So instead of just focusing on the act, focus on her as a person. Ask how she feels, validate her emotions, and show genuine interest. Building emotional intimacy makes physical intimacy far more meaningful and much more enjoyable for both partners. Segment 4. Over-focusing on physical performance can also be a big turn-off. Many men assume they need to prove something during intimacy, but this often leads to anxiety, distraction, or even overconfidence. For women, performance pressure from their partner can create unnecessary stress. They prefer connection over competition. It's not about impressing, it's about syncing. Constantly checking how you're doing or trying to copy what you've seen elsewhere rarely works. Instead, focus on authenticity and comfort. Ask for feedback, go with the flow, and stop overanalyzing each move. Real intimacy is not a performance, it's an experience. Let go of the pressure to be perfect, and instead aim to be present, respectful, and responsive. That's what women really value. When you drop the performance mindset, you make room for trust, chemistry, and real pleasure. Segment 5. Ignoring her feedback, verbal or nonverbal, is a major intimacy red flag. Women often express themselves subtly, through body language, facial expressions, or tone. If you're not tuned in, you might miss important signs of discomfort or disinterest. Worse, you may continue something she doesn't enjoy. That creates emotional distance and potentially long-term resentment. Respect comes from paying attention. Whether she says, slow down, pulls back slightly, or even seems distracted, these are cues worth noting. Asking, is this okay? Or, do you like this? Shows care and attentiveness. Don't take feedback personally, take it seriously. It means she trusts you enough to be honest. Active listening, even in physical moments, creates a safer and more pleasurable experience for both. Always stay aware, responsive, and respectful of what she's communicating, in every form. Segment 6. Being overly self-focused is another intimacy mistake women dislike. When a partner only thinks about their own satisfaction, it turns the shared experience into something selfish. Many women value mutual pleasure, not just being an object of desire. If you're only concerned about how you feel, how you look, or how fast you reach your goal, she may feel ignored or objectified. Great intimacy happens when both people are fully engaged and tuned into each other's needs. That includes slowing down, giving her attention, and prioritizing her pleasure as much as your own. Being generous and present goes a long way. It shows that you're not just physically involved, you're emotionally and mentally there too. Shared pleasure builds connection, and connection leads to deeper, more satisfying intimacy. Segment 7. Assuming what worked before will work again is a big mistake. Women's preferences and comfort levels can change depending on mood, stress, cycle, or relationship dynamics. Something she enjoyed once might not feel the same the next time. Assuming she always wants the same thing without checking in can lead to disappointment or frustration. Instead of relying on a routine, learn to adapt. Ask her how she feels, notice her reactions, and remain flexible. It's not about performing a script, it's about tuning into the moment. Women appreciate when their partner notices the small things and adjusts accordingly. Every experience should feel unique, not repetitive. Being curious, considerate, and willing to adapt keeps the connection fresh. That attentiveness shows emotional maturity, and women respect that deeply during intimate moments. Segment 8. Lack of hygiene is an often overlooked factor that deeply affects intimacy. For many women, hygiene isn't just a preference, it's a prerequisite. Bad breath, unclean hands, or overall poor grooming can be an instant turn-off, no matter how strong the emotional bond is. It's about showing respect for her comfort and safety. Practicing good hygiene, showering, brushing, trimming, and using clean linen creates an environment where she feels safe and cared for. It also shows that you value the experience and her presence. Women notice these things and they matter more than you might think. Cleanliness isn't about being fancy, it's about being thoughtful. Start every intimate moment by taking care of yourself first. It sets the tone for trust, safety, and deeper connection. Segment 9. Ignoring aftercare is one of the most emotionally hurtful things for many women. Intimacy doesn't end when the physical part is over. In fact, what happens after can matter even more. Cuddling, talking, or simply staying close are gestures that offer emotional reassurance. When a partner turns away, scrolls their phone, or becomes distant right after, it creates emotional disconnection. For women, aftercare is a sign of love, respect, and emotional bonding. It reassures her that she wasn't just used for physical gratification. So, even a few kind words, gentle touch, or holding hands can go a long way. It's these moments that build trust and deepen your emotional connection. If you truly care, stay present even after. That's what intimacy really means. Segment 10. Another key point many overlook is being too quiet or expressionless. Women often rely on nonverbal cues to feel reassured and engaged during intimacy. If a partner is completely silent, shows no emotion, or avoids eye contact, it can make the experience feel cold or disconnected. Intimacy is not just physical, it's emotional and psychological. A smile, a sigh, a compliment, these things build rhythm and emotional connection. Showing your pleasure, giving encouragement, and using gentle words can make her feel desired and safe. When both partners are expressive and responsive, it turns the moment into a shared emotional experience. Don't underestimate the power of vocal and facial feedback. It builds confidence and enhances bonding. Expression creates chemistry, and chemistry makes everything better. Segment 11. Consent should never be assumed, even in a long-term relationship. One major mistake that can ruin intimacy is assuming your partner is always ready or willing. Women deeply dislike when their autonomy is ignored. Consent isn't a one-time conversation. It's ongoing and it can change moment to moment. Always check in even with your long-term partner. Asking, "Are you in the mood?" or "Do you feel like it today?" isn't awkward, it's respectful. When consent is mutual and enthusiastic, the experience becomes emotionally fulfilling. Anything less can feel forced or uncomfortable. Remember, true intimacy starts with mutual desire and respect. When a woman knows she has the power to say yes or no freely, she feels valued and safe. And that's the space where real connection happens. Segment 12. Unrealistic expectations, often driven by media or past experiences, can sabotage intimacy. Many women dislike when their partner tries to recreate scripted or exaggerated versions of intimacy that don't feel genuine or comfortable. What you see in adult films or media isn't real life, and trying to copy that can feel forced, awkward, or even unsafe. Instead of trying to be someone you're not, focus on authenticity. Be yourself, ask what she enjoys, and co-create a real, honest connection. Women value honesty, respect, and comfort far more than fantasy-driven performance. Trying to live up to unrealistic ideals leads to disappointment for both partners. The most satisfying moments are often the most natural ones. Be present, not perfect. and you'll create deeper intimacy that lasts. Segment 13. Another often unspoken but deeply important issue is emotional unavailability. If a woman feels her partner is emotionally distant or unavailable, physical intimacy can feel hollow. Being physically present but emotionally absent creates confusion and insecurity. Women value vulnerability. When you share your thoughts, show affection, and let her into your emotional world. If you avoid emotional closeness or shut down during or after intimacy, it sends a message that the connection isn't real. Building intimacy means being open, not guarded. Let her see the real you, even the imperfect parts. Emotional honesty creates safety, and safety builds passion. So if you want more fulfilling intimacy, start by being emotionally available. It's not weakness, it's strength. And it's one of the things women truly desire. Segment 14. Lastly, one of the most disliked things women experience during intimacy is lack of appreciation. When you don't acknowledge her effort, her beauty, or the emotional trust she places in you, it can make her feel taken for granted. A simple "you're amazing" or "I really enjoy being close to you" can mean the world. Gratitude builds warmth and security. It reminds her that she matters, not just physically but emotionally and spiritually too. Intimacy is a gift, and every gift deserves appreciation. Taking a moment to thank her, compliment her, or hold her close isn't just sweet, it's powerful. When women feel appreciated, they open up more, connect deeper, and engage more freely. So never forget, appreciation is one of the most powerful forms of love. Conclusion. So there you have it, the most common things women dislike during intimacy. Every point boils down to one essential truth. Respect, communication, and emotional connection matter more than anything else. Real intimacy starts with understanding. If we listen, care, and stay mindful, we create trust, comfort, and true connection. Let's build better relationships by honoring what truly matters, not just in the body but in the heart and mind. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. More real, respectful conversations are coming your way. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay kind, stay curious, and keep growing. See you in the next video.